Hey, good morning. How's everybody?
Doing well. Thank you for asking. Again, members of the media on the line, we're now joined by head coach Jamie Chadwell of Coastal Carolina. If you have a question for Coach Chadwell, please press *1 at this time to get in the queue. Coach, you had an open week this past week. Could you just give us your thoughts on, what your team accomplished as you prepare for this upcoming game against UAB?
Well, it was unusual to have one so early. If you asked me if I'd rather have one, I'd have said no. I wish we could have played because I'd like to see the improvement. And so we really treated it not like a typical open week. We treated it like we were playing for a game and really tried to get our young guys that needed more experience. We practiced quite a bit and got after each other there for 3 days. And then we had the situation with Irma. Maybe it was coming this way, so our school canceled and so or closed down for Friday. And our players got out here Friday and Saturday, but after the weather, it was going another direction there. We were able to bring them back yesterday and get everybody back safely, so we were thankful for that. But I thought it was a productive week. Really worked on a lot of fundamental things, and not necessarily for UAB, but just for us, we needed to continue for our whole season, things that we need to improve on.
Thank you, Coach. We'll go to our first question from Derek Asbury of the Post and Courier.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Hey, Derek, I'm doing well.
Good. You kind of spoke on that, but just kind of piggybacking, can you kind of talk about the pluses and negatives of having a bye week so early in the season?
Well, I think the negative part of it is you'd like to have one later on when you've already played 5-6 games, so you don't end up playing 10 in a row. We're going to end up playing 10 games in a row, and so you'd love to have that during the middle of the year when you can really need some of the rest. You don't need a lot of rest right now. The positive part of it, I do think you can almost extend. I don't want to say you extend your fall camp, but you can really continue to work on a lot of things that maybe coming out of fall camp you weren't where you needed to be at. So you have that time to focus in on some of those things. For us, getting some other guys in some key positions to try to get them more reps and some different things. So we really able to work on that. And then secondly, I think it does allow you to just continue to work on some special teams things. We had a big special team emphasis last week where we were able to cover a lot of different things that maybe you cover in fall camp, but you sort of run over. You don't really get to spend a lot of time. So we really tried to cover a lot of situations that were important, that we deem important going forward. So you can view it as a positive or negative. We try to view it as a positive, and we'll see what it looks like here this coming Saturday.
Derek, if you have a follow-up question, you can go ahead with that.
Sure. Obviously, this is the school's first time playing UAB. Coach, could you talk about any film that you've seen on them and what you think you may have to look forward to on Saturday?
Well, we have been able to watch film. They're 1-1 and actually played a really pretty good game Saturday versus Ball State. That was a really good game going into the fourth quarter, and had a couple special teams plays that really turned that game. But I think you got to see in a team that they have a lot of confidence in what they're doing. Offensively, they're very balanced as far as running and throwing. They're going to give us a different. Obviously, playing UMass, I think they're more athletic than UMass, so they're going to do a lot of different things with the athletes they have, especially at running back. So it's going to present us a challenge on defense. And offensively, looking at their defense, they do so many different things. They're in so many different fronts, whether it's a 3-down front, a 4-down front, or a 5-down. They do a lot of different things, and they're pretty good at it. They've got a lot of pieces that are interchangeable on their defense that give you some multiple looks. So you got to make sure you're honed in on what you're doing. We hope that that with what we do offensively and defensively, we can give them some matchup problems. With us never seeing them and never playing a common opponent, you're trying to look and see how does Ball State or Alabama A&M compare to the players that we have as far as how we match up. I think that's the biggest challenge once you're down there. Once you figure out what they're doing, it's just really now the personnel. How does the personnel match up? But Coach Clark has done a nice job of getting obviously the momentum and getting that rebuild going, and there's a lot of excitement. You can see by the way they play extremely hard, and so we expect obviously a really good game and a step up athleticism-wise from our UMass game.
And just a final quick question, if there's nobody else. Can you talk about the current quarterback situation? Are you still planning a a two quarterback system, or is anybody kind of stepping forward to take that number one position?
We're still, right now, we'll plan a two quarterback. Tyler Keene and Dalton Demos will be the two that we'll start off with. The open week, we were able to work some other guys in some situations where we think they might help us going forward. I'm not, right now at this point, I'm not going to say you would see a third one at this time, but we are working towards that to where we can, a guy that can sort of do a little bit of both for us right now. And once they continue to improve and continue to learn the system, what we're trying to get done, I could see us doing that. And hopefully one of those guys will eventually take over, and I think they will. It's just going to take us a little time because we're still learning each other. We're still learning what we're good at and what we're not, and that's part of playing. You see, you know, as you play more and more, you can see, and that's one of the things that you wish you were able to be able to do, play a little bit more this past week where you could see your guys develop more. But you'll see two for sure, maybe a third one if they continue to practice at a good level.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. And thank you, Coach Chadwell. Those are all the questions we have for you today. We appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Yep, thank you. And again, that was Coastal Carolina head coach Jamie Chadwell.